Alright, so this is my Traptrix artifact deck. So I got Traptrix Mirror, Traptrix Diane. Obviously, Mirror gets me the traps from the deck to my hand. Diane gets me a Traptrix monster from the graveyard, special summon so I can XYZ summon, but also I can get I can summon another Dion from my graveyard and get the effect of getting a trap hole, normal trap card from my graveyard, like trap hole for example, Tahitian trap hole, even bottomless trap hole, and set it on my side of the field. Then of course I got artifact Achilles. When I use them with Theosophy, that's protection for the turn, so I don't have to worry about my opponent trying to OTK me. Artifact Caduceus. I'm starting to fall out of interest in this card. I might start playing Failnaught instead. I really don't use Caduceus' effect. I just use him for his 2400 defense, and that's about it. I don't really use him for anything else. I mean, any of the artifacts monsters are better than playing Caduceus, just because I don't really need to draw that bad, and I don't even get the draw effect as much. Labrys, it's a good hand trap. I don't have to set it. I could just keep it in my hand, and that comes in handy if I ever need to. My artifact monsters get destroyed, I can summon them, obviously. Moral Tag is the main artifact that's used in pretty much every artifact deck. It's the main one you want to summon and get rid of whatever you need to get rid of. Soul Exchange. There's times where you probably can't summon because your opponent, puts stuff on the field to prevent you from summoning. He'll side in the hate. This is a late attribute deck. I mean, there are earth monsters in here, and a lot of other attributes in this deck, like water and stuff like that. But it comes in handy when you want to get rid of Fossil Dyna, Jowjin, Christia, Ophion. So Soul Exchange comes in handy in that. Plus, it comes in handy in many ways because your monsters are level 5, and so you need some way of summoning them. Especially if you summon Caduceus and then during opponent's turn special summon all your other artifacts, then you'll be able to draw, of course. Plus, being able to get rid of something in place of your own monster comes in handy. Of course, artifact movement lets you search out. Plus, it gets rid of any back row because it's the MST of the deck. Double side clone lets you get rid of your opponent's back row as well as activate your, artifact's effect. Theosophy artifacts, obviously, it's a one-trap summoning, so you can just play it and summon any of your artifact monsters. So there's a lot of good combos. Obviously, you can use it to summon Moral Attack and get rid of something. You could bring out Achilles for defensive purposes, or you could just bring out Caduceus because he has 2400 defense. And on top of that, once you start special summoning the other ones, you could draw, of course. Because this is the Traptrix build, of course, I got 3 trap holes, 3 chaos trap holes. Just because it has a good effect. It's like warning, so that's why I mainly use it. Tahitian trap hole and bottomless trap hole. Obviously, the main targets for my Traptrix is trap hole, Tahitian trap hole, and bottomless. This is just because it has a good effect. It's like warning, so it comes in handy. I was just doing against a zombie deck. I made him run out of monsters, and I just attacked them for a game. I had like 1 card left in my deck, which was beneficial. And ironic, it was Dion, and Dion special summon, and I was thinking of XYZ summon, but I decided, like, you know what, I don't need to XYZ summon, I just attack, blah blah blah. So that was an interesting duel. Zombie World was a problem. That was about it. Other than that, everything else was piece of cake. Let's see. Okay, obviously I got Corn. You know how to use them. Dire Wolf. This is part of the problem because Zombie World, he's makes him not a zombie, and I wasn't able to use his effect, so that kind of put a cramp in my strategy. But I still won anyway, because I had a backup plan. Maestro, because he's good. Number 101, Exiton, because they're broken. The funny thing is, I wanted to use Exiton, but I had way more cards than my opponent, so Exiton was useless. I got rid of a lot of his special summon monsters, so number 101, I had no use for him in the duel. But Pleiades definitely was my ace monster in that duel. He was very important. So I was thinking of making Durandal, but I was like, don't care to negate an effect, spell or monster effect or something like that, and turn it into an MST. It wasn't that deep. It was like, you know what, I need something a little bit stronger in effect. So I was like, I'm going for Pleiades. That would give me more options, and I reserved it. I used it wisely, and it won me the duel. Adrius, Keeper of Armageddon, that came in handy, because that's a good effect, of course. Didn't get to use Shark Fortress, but Shark Fortress, of course, can allow, can open up OTKs if used right. Tyrus, Keeper of Genesis. I was thinking of making this, but I decided to go with Adrius instead, just because I wanted to make sure my strategy worked out. Zen Mail helps get rid of your opponent's background. Utopia Ray, just in case you get the ability to make him. He has a good effect. But a lot of times, if you have the ability to use 3 level 5s, you typically will want to go for Heavy Industry, because he's 3200 and he has a decent effect. And of course 3 Durandals, because he's the boss of bosses in this deck. And that's the end of the deck profile.